Hello. My name is Jessie, and I'm going to be leading you through this dandelion painting today. I hope you have fun painting it. We will start in the background and work our way towards the foreground, which is the normal practice for doing a painting. Pick any colors you'd like for the background. As long as they're in the medium to dark value range, they should work just fine. Okay, so first we need to squirt out some paint. I'm going to go with the grays and blues. So I need a little white to make gray. I need a little bit of black. And I need a little bit of blue on my paint palette here. Maybe kind of a lot of blue. And if I want kind of this turquoisey color, I can also add a tiny bit of yellow to my blue, and that'll change the color. Okay, so pick a medium to large size brush and give it a dunk into the cup of water. And then we'll just start mixing up some colors. I want just a few different shades of everything. So I've got kind of a lighter blue right here. We'll add some more white to this one and sneak some of our yellow in to make kind of a turquoisey color. A little more blue. Just kind of keep mixing until those colors look the way you want them to. And then I wanted a gray, so I'll put a little dab of black into this white here. Okay, so I have a few colors here. I could probably start painting my background. I'm going to go in vertical strokes. You could also definitely do this horizontally. You could do swirls, you could do X's. No wrong way, honestly. Just put a variety of colors that kind of mix together and are within the same color family, and it should work just fine. All right, dunk my brush one more time to make sure that my colors go on well. All right, so I've got some paint loaded up on my brush. And I am just dipping into my different colors that I mixed without cleaning my brush out, because as long as I paint quick enough while the other colors are still wet, I can kind of let them mix and make new colors as I'm painting. You'll notice I'm using really big brush strokes. I need a little bit more white. I'm using big brush strokes, and painting in general is not a wrist action, it's a whole arm action. So I'm making sure that I'm moving from the shoulder so that my brush strokes are nice and big and long. That's going to let my paint mix together more quickly so that I can do this wet on wet blending. If I go too slow, then especially with acrylic paint, it dries really quick in Arizona here. So if it dries too fast, then it doesn't blend together in the same way. I can get this really soft, almost oil painting-like effect because I'm painting wet into wet, meaning the canvas is wet from the paint that I'm using, and the paint is wet that I'm applying. So it's mixing into one another. And I can cover a lot of area quickly, again, because I'm painting from the shoulder with big streaky strokes. And I made sure to dip into the black a little bit and mix with that because I need to make sure my background is dark enough that the white dandelions will show up in comparison. Okay, so I'm just going to keep dipping into my different colors until I fill the whole canvas. And you could do this with any colors. Same idea, just have, you know, kind of similar color family. So if you really like red, you could do reds and oranges, maybe some mustardy colors, or you could do different shades of purple, some bluish purple, some reddish purple, maybe some dark maroon or burgundy colors would look nice with that. Greens would be great. Or even just different grays. You could make this monochromatic and do lots of different grays. Grays and blacks would be kind of moody and cool, if that's your thing. Okay, yeah. And we're covered, we're blended. Feeling good about that. Okay. So I'll just wash my brush out. Once your background is done, you are ready for some dandelions. While I get my dandelion tools prepared, this will hopefully dry enough that it'll let me paint on it some more. So we want this to dry a little bit, at least dry to the touch. And while we're waiting for that to happen, let's make some dandelion painting tools. So for this part, you'll want a pair of scissors. You'll want a paper towel roll and a plastic straw. If you, in your house, you do not have the paper towel roll and the straw, no worries. There's lots of different ways that you could do this. A manila folder cut up would work great. A paper plate cut up would work great. A cereal box. Junk mail, the thicker kind would be fine. Lots of different things that you could do for this, but here's how we make our dandelion stamp. You're going to take your scissors and probably go, that's probably about an inch cut. And then that is probably about, I don't know, 1/4 inch approximately. But I'm just going to take my scissors and go all the way around, making pretty even cuts. You know, just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to go all the way around. That last one went high enough. So I'm cutting, 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 cutting. Did it. So I went all the way around, and now I'm going to fan them out. I bet you haven't painted with a toilet paper roll since like what, kindergarten? Well, it's not just for kindergartners, boys and girls. You can be a grown-up and still paint with a paper towel roll, okay? Okay, we agree. All right, so here's one of my dandelions. So this one is going to be for the larger ones. And then for the smaller ones, and again, you could also do this with a rolled up piece of thick paper of any kind. Just roll it up, same thing, snip, 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 good as new. So then with my straw, this is a plastic straw. I think I want the non-bendy end because I don't want it to not behave itself and get all bendy. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm making somewhat even cuts down the center of the straw. Okay, and then I'm going to fan them out again. Here we go. And then this little guy, I feel like this reminds me of Mary Poppins, you know, the chimney sweeps, and they had like those, right? Do you see it? Do you see it? Okay. So this is going to be for the smaller dandelion. Okay, here we go. We're ready to stamp. I have some of that white left over on my other plate, so I'm just going to use that because why waste it? So I've got some white paint here. I do want to kind of spread it out a bit so it's not like a big globby chunky monkey type of a thing, which is the technical term. Okay, so I've spread it out, but not too thin, just a nice kind of even layer. And then I can put my dandelions in place. I think I'm going to put the poof part first, and then we can add the stems next. All right, here we go. So paper towel roll, toilet paper roll, I guess. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying that. So I'm just dabbing it into the paint. And you'll be able to tell if you have enough on it because it will go from brown to white. I'm definitely going to need more paint for the next round, but get enough on there. And then let's start with this corner one. Okay, so I'm going to go straight back and then just keep repeating. Until it fills in. I feel like I need more paint, so I'm gonna get it. More paint. Spread it out, but not too much. Okay. Yeah, this will work better. I think I just flung paint on myself. I said, I don't need an apron. I'll be careful. Ah, I guess not. Okay. Yeah, there we go. There we go, little paper towel roll. Okay, dandelion. So there's one, but I want another right here. I just keep twisting it and stamping it. And then one more big one here. It helps if you make the sound effects. Way more fun. Okay. Yep. Liking how that looks. Then I can do the same thing with my little chimney sweep straw. So I'm going to get him into the paint. And then I want one here. I'm kind of going for like a diagonal, you know, for my composition here. The most dynamic line in a composition is a diagonal line. So I'm kind of wanting it to go this way and then fill in some of the negative space. Here. Then one here. The straw chimney sweep guy is a little more sparse, the little prongs, so it does need a few more steps. Okay. And then I believe what I did next is to fill in a little bit some of the circle. I used my straw. Okay, and right in the center, it kind of makes the effect that there's that center, oh gosh, what's it called? The center of the dandelion, and then the skinny little strings, and then the that you go, right? Okay, that's what we're going for. So I'll fill this one in too. Okay. I like it, I like it. Right? Looking dandelion-like. Okay, now I need some stems, right? So you want to switch now to a liner brush. Let's see, which do I want to use? For doing lines, several things I like. One of them is actually this flat head brush, which you would think would make a really thick line because it's kind of fat, but look what happens when I turn it on its side. It actually does get skinny as long as you hold it going this way. It will make a skinny line for you. In fact, if you really want to get fancy, you can start it the wide way and then turn it skinny as you go down, and it'll make your line actually taper from thick to thin. All right, I think I have enough white still left on my plate here. If I just add a little water to it. Adding water to your paint will also help it spread a little bit easier so you don't get the big chunky lines. All right, so I'm going kind of down. So starting here. Down. Let's do the next one. Kind of plan out how you want it to arc before you do it. So I think I'm gonna curve this way for this guy. And I always tell people whenever you're doing a line, you don't want to put your eyes on the line. Like, don't watch yourself make that line. Don't do it. You're gonna get all shaky and weird. You put your eyes where you want the line to go, and you look there, and it'll make the most smooth, beautiful line you've ever made. It works. Try it. Okay. All right. Lines are good. Dandelion. So lastly, we then need the little parts, right? I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. It's called a, okay. So really fine lines here. So I'm making sure I don't have too much paint gunked on my brush because that'll make a big chunky, gunky chunky line. I'll have one flying this way. So I think I might just use, yeah, that'll work. I'm going to use the end of my brush like a stamp. One flying over here. There's the end. I just went boop, like a stamp. And then we can get the other guys. Just like that. put as many as you'd like. They're a little bit fun. I want to try to not get too carried away. They are pretty fun and easy to do. Mhm. And there you go. So finishing touches, don't forget to sign it. I would recommend painting your edges if you don't intend to put it in a frame. If you paint the edges nicely, you can just plop it right on the wall and it'll still look great. Use whatever colors you would like. Feel free to change it up, and get creative with what you dip in paint. There are a lot of ways that you can make that dandelion stamp. Have fun with this. Let me know what you think. I